everybody, it's Kathy Ondas with Simply Cards by Kathy, and I am so glad to be back with all of you. It has been 2 weeks. I had surgery on my right hand 2 weeks ago and thought I'd be able to stamp and craft and be back doing my videos in a couple days, and that did not happen. So I am excited to be back with you. It is August 1st of 2022. And while I'm not fully back to being able to do everything, I think we're going to be okay. And if you can kind of bear with me with a few things, I'll be using the Stamparatus more than I'll be actually stamping with the blocks. And I'm just so glad to be back with all of you. So we are going to do a flip out fun fold today. We're going to use the stamp set Best Butterflies, but stay with me through to the end because I'm going to show you a few other cards at the end, and one even a Christmas card using the Christmas Scotties with this type of fun fold. So if you are new to my channel, thank you so much. I'm so glad you're joining me. And if you are returning, I love having you back, and thank you for being with me. So I'm going to stop talking. We're going to start stamping, and I'm going to flip this camera to my desktop. So hold on, and we'll get started. Okay, if you are with me, leave me a comment where you're from, and we are going to be making this fun fold right here today. This is a flip out fun fold. It's almost similar to a joy fold, but not quite. And I actually first saw this flip out fun fold from Lisa Curcio. So I have to give her credit for this, but I absolutely love it. So we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to bring in my annual catalog. And on page 37, you'll find this bundle. Now today we're not going to use the die cuts, just because I need a few more days, I think, before I can crank our cut and emboss machine. But we are going to do some stamping. And we're going to be using this really lovely paper here, which is called Butterfly Kisses. So let's move this off. And I'm going to bring in the paper. Now that paper is 6 by 6, and it's a 48 pack. So you get 12 different designs, 4 of each, and it's double-sided as always. But just really, I love these colors. You've got the Calypso Coral, and you have crushed curry, we have fresh freesia, we have the new parakeet party, and the new starry sky. So I'm just gonna flip through these kind of quickly for you, and like I said, I'm still a little bit slow with that right hand, but I appreciate your kindness and just kind of bearing with me. And then I'm just gonna flip these over and kind of spread them out so that you can see lots of different polka dots, florals. You've got some bright stripes here, some stars, some triangles, and some butterfly wings. So I'm going to go ahead and move this off. And this is the stamp set and that we're going to be using. And I am going to pull out. It is a photopolymer stamp set. So I'm going to pull out the pieces that we're going to be using today and set those off to the side. And then my greeting is going to come from Biggest Wish. And I'm going to do the thanks. So let's bring this one out. Okay, I think we're about ready to get started. So I did some a lot of prep work. And then normally I use the green glue or our multi-purpose glue, but it's a little hard to still squeeze the bottle, so we're going to be using Stampin' Seal. Now, don't worry about the measurements and the supplies because everything's going to be listed right down below the video about an hour after it's done. So you will be able to access everything you need, including the instructions, and you'll even see the other couple cards I'm going to show you on that site. So this is a piece of 4 1/4 by 8 1/2, but it's scored at 5 1/2, so that you have a 3-inch fold here. So I'm going to go ahead and fold this a little better than it is, and we're going to use the bone folder and just try give it a good burnishing. Now, I brought in, this is what we're going to use for the outside, and it is one of those beautiful pieces of designer series paper that I just showed you. And I have 2 of these cut. I have one for the outside of the flap and one for the inside of the flap. So let's go ahead and get this on. And when I first made this card, and you'll see on the others I did, I'll show you, I did not do a designer paper on the inside of the flap. But as I was planning for this, I really felt like I just liked it a little better with a little bit more color on the inside. Normally I do use the glue because it allows me to move it around and slide it, but with unable to squeeze the bottle yet, we're going to go with this. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to adhere this one too. I hope you all had a great weekend. And you have some fun plans for this first week in August. I will be celebrating my grandson's 16th birthday later today, and spending time with my other daughter's granddaughter, or daughter, my granddaughter. All right, so we're going to do that. Now, I also cut a piece of paper that is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4 for the inside. Now, you're going to see one of the other cards that I did use cardstock. But I kind of like the design of the designer series paper better, simply because it just added a little bit more to the card. So you can use cardstock or you can use designer paper. Now, if you use cardstock, it is going to give you a little bit more body to your card. But I felt like I really got what I needed even using the designer series paper. So we're going to go ahead and put that down. Okay, I'm going to move this off and we're going to bring in the Stamparatus. So I'm going to bring in, what we have next is a 3 by 8 1/2 piece of, this is crushed curry, and it's scored at 4 1/4. And this is actually going to go in here like this and fold over. So what we're going to be stamping now is the external layer for the outside of the card and the internal layer for the inside. So let's go ahead and I'm going to bring this in. And I'm going to go ahead and use some tape. And this is the Post-it note tape, just to kind of help hold it down, because I don't trust myself right now to help hold it down. So we're going to do that, and I'm going to bring in our thanks, and I want this to go right here in the corner. So I'm just going to position it and pick it up. And I'm going to use I use my bone folder to help hold the paper down so it doesn't move. And this one, we're going to stamp. I'm going to use the, let's use Parakeet Party for this one. So let me grab that and let's see how that's going to look. So I'm just going to go ahead and ink it up. And I don't know that you can see that, but my parakeet, I'm going to bring this up higher. You can see my stamp maybe has a lot of little dots on it, which means that that stamp is way too wet. And I don't want I don't want that to be the case on the paper where we see a lot of marks. So I'm going to take a spoon that I keep here, and I'm just going to pull that ink off, and that's going to reabsorb back into your, and then let's restamp this. And that looks better. So I'm going to go ahead and press that down, and I'm going to use my little helper here to do that. And see, you can even see that still, even with me pushing it off, has some, it's not very even stamping. So I'm going to restamp, and let's see if that kind of helps it. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and remove this stamp. Okay, and now what I want to do is I'm going to do my butterfly. So I'm going to take this piece of tape and move it over here and bring this in here. Now for my butterfly, I thought I would, I want to make sure that I have enough room for him to here. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this down a little bit. And that should work. So the first one I'm going to stamp is this one. So let's pick that up. And for this one, I thought I would use Calypso Coral. Again, I'm trying to pick up all the colors that are in that paper. So let's go ahead, and I'm just going to set this here for some support, and we're going to ink this up. And again, if I need to go back over it, it is on my Stamparatus, so it makes it pretty easy. And that came out actually pretty good. So I'm going to take this one off, and let's position this one. And nice, because it's photopolymer, we can nicely get it right on the edge so that they are matching up. Now I'll pick this one up. And we're going to use Fresh Freesia for this next one. I should have probably opened all these before we got started, but just going to take me a little bit to get back in the groove. So let's go ahead, and we're going to bring this down. Great. I'm happy with that. Now I want to put the butterfly, the body of the butterfly in. So I have it here, and because my wings were larger, I wanted to be able to use the larger body. Now I'm going to use my Tuxedo Black, and I'm going to stamp right over that, which is what I did on the card that I showed you. So again, going to ink up using our Memento black ink. And I love that the photopolymer stamps, especially when you're looking straight down on them, you can see if there's any bare spots. So let's go ahead and stamp him. Lift him up. And that came out great. So I am very pleased with these. So let's go ahead and we're gonna bring our card in and we're gonna finish that up. So here's the outside of our card. So let's go ahead and we're gonna adhere this to the front of that small card base. Now, if you like today's video, I would be pleased if you would give me a thumbs up. And if you're new, hit that subscribe button, because that way you'll be notified when I am live or even when I post a new video, so that you'll be able to join me or view it as a replay. So here's our card, and let's go ahead and I am using Stampin' Seal. Let's try it this way. That's better. Press down a little bit harder. And I'm just going right up along the edge where that card is going to adhere by the fold. Okay, so I'm going to close my card, and I want this to be centered also. So here is almost our finished fun fold. Now in this one, because it's a thank you, I wanted to leave it blank to write a personalized message, because it is a smaller area on which to write. And well, boy, long before I had surgery, I went ahead and cut out some of these butterflies from the Designer Series paper. So I think we're going to take this little one and just adhere him. And I think we're going to probably have to use the glue for that. So let's try that. Now, if you are new to Stampin' Up! And you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would be honored to have the opportunity to work with you and help you meet your stamping and crafting needs. And if you don't have a catalog, please go on over to my website at Simply Cards, KARDS, by Kathy.com, and send me a message and with your name and address, and I'll be happy to get those catalogs in the mail for you. Let's put this in here. Okay, so here's our outside of our card, and let's just kind of decorate it up a little bit. I pulled out a couple different embellishments. One are the fun flower resin shapes. They are in Calypso Coral, Fresh Freesia. I think this is Starry Sky, Parakeet Party, and this might be Daffodil Delight or Crushed Curry. And then I also have the 2022 in color decorative dots. So I think I'm going to go with the flowers, and I am going to pull in my putty tool to help pick these up. And let's go with our Parakeet Party. And let's put one here. And we'll do one here. I'm going to do one up here. Okay. So let me move this all out of the way. And here is our finished flip out fun fold. Isn't that cute? I really love fun folds. They're my favorite. Now, here's the one I showed you earlier. And on this one, you can see I did not put a piece, but I'm probably going to go back and put a piece of this on the inside because I really like the way it looked. And then here is one where I did happy birthday and then used a sentiment. I can't even remember from what stamp set that's from. And I used a die cut from the Best Butterflies and did that instead of stamping. So here's 3. And then I decided I wanted to show you a Christmas one. So here's our little Christmas Scotty. Isn't he darling? This is done in real red. Yep, piece of tape there. And just use the ribbon to decorate the inside. And the paper is actually, oh gosh, the name escapes me. But it's from an autumn wreath set and a large pack of paper. So I really like that too. So 4 really quick and easy flip out fun folds that you could probably use with any stamp set you have. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I am so happy to be back with all of you. I hope you have a wonderful day and join us on Thursday for Connect to Create. And I'll be back on Friday for Friday Fun at 1. You have a great day.